you and the management team are running the Zoom and the convention in Hong Kong, and there's people around the world tied in. And yesterday was a new experience for me. I don't really know what happened. I don't think it matters, but there's a lot that goes into technology to make this work. It's kind of like a minor miracle. Uh, and I really appreciate the great job that you guys are doing. It's an honor to be able to speak to the UFOs of Hong Kong. Uh, and we really want to drive home what we talked about yesterday because it really is the magic. It's the missing piece for many people, and we want to see them earn six figures residual income so badly. We're just going to pound it. We're just going to hit it again today.
All right.
We're ready.
Yes, go ahead.
Tell me when to begin.
You can start now.
Yes. Okay. Well, am I going to be on the screen?
No.
Huh?
See you. You're good.
Okay. Well, thank you. So listen, we want to give a recap or summary of what we went over yesterday. I want to make sure that there's no confusion. It's so important because if you get this and are doing everything else and are dedicated, it's what's going to cause you to find the right people. As I said yesterday, the only thing that stands between most of you and being a director or earning six figures, it isn't a lack of dedication or a lack of belief. It's simply you haven't found the right people, and you need to discover the way to do that, the method that always leads to the right people. Now, Elizabeth and her three partners and Andrew nailed it yesterday. I mean, they knocked it clear out of the park. I haven't seen a presentation so on point and powerful in years. It reminds me of the first basic five that we did with Kevin Buckman and Dennis Franks. It's probably going to be historic. They explained it and demonstrated it perfectly with Zoom. And so I hope you go back and watch that again if it's really valuable. But here's the point. Imprinting is not duplication. See, duplication describes what happens or should happen after it happens. It's kind of like calling the play in sports after it happened. It's a snapshot of what we did. And it's not the action of actually doing it. So imprinting is the process of doing it with someone who doesn't know anything but qualifies because they have the right mindset by choosing residual income over the 45-year plan or exchanging time for money. And they want this pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, this magical thing at the top of the economic ladder, residual income. So because I chose that, okay, doing the evaluation overviews with people that they know, which may be the right people, is an offer too good to refuse because they could actually end up with it. So why? It's because you and your senior partner are going to do it with them, and they could lead to the right people, which would lead to residual income. So do you see how that's an offer too good to refuse? It's hard to resist. So if they do lead to the right people, they get credit and benefit, and they could end up with residual income. So they have everything to gain and nothing to lose. There's no risk, and it's easy because you do it with them. And that leads to a trial run automatically into more evaluations. So eventually we end up with the right people. This is how they hatch, if you want to use the imprinting a foul analogy. This is how they hatch into the business. Instead of just signing them up or convincing them to register and to do the business, we make it work first with them. So there's no decision, and it's working as we do it, and they're leading the people who are leading the people. So that already happens before they get into business. And if they don't do it, they already led you to the people that you need to do it. So you win no matter what. And it multiplies as we go because each person that we get to do it leads to more. So probability works in your favor. Numbers work in your favor. So this process is automatic, with each step automatically leading into the next step. It's kind of like once you get it rolling, it just kind of moves into the next phase. You don't really have to make anything happen. The valuation approach, or the three-way call, or Zoom leads to the evaluation overview. Now, what's the evaluation overview? That's where we show them the big picture. It leads to them making a list of people that they know that might know the right people. And if those people aren't the right people, they may know the right people, to evaluate it. So we do evaluations together. I'm going to say that again. We do evaluations together. That's what you want a new person that's looking at it to do. Okay? And we book the follow-ups that lead to the trial runs, which become the ABC pattern. So it's a very natural, organic process that just happens. So we're doing it with them, and it works. That's the key. I'm going to say it again. We do it with them. We don't get them in and expect them to go do it. We do it with them. And why? Because the people that they know are really my people. Think about it. They're really my people, so I don't want them to mess it up. We're doing it with them, and it works. And when they lead to people or customers and want to do it, there's no decision. That's why we call it the no decision close. It worked. Who's going to sponsor these people, me or you? You see, we don't register people until they lead to people and it starts to work. That's the key. Why would you want to sponsor anybody anyway that can't lead to anyone? So understand this. They imprint and do it the way they just experienced. And it worked. And here's the key. They know no other way. That's the only way that they know. So it just works, and they're leading the people first. So this is what we set in motion. This is just like imprinting of chickens, ducks, or geese. And in the business, everyone now is in the V formation, doing it automatically. It just happens because of imprinting. In many ways, it's like a baby or a child starting to speak. They don't take a course in the language. They absorb it, and they don't have to learn or study. It just happens. And it happens, it just happens, and it happens naturally. Well, that's the same thing that happens when we do it with someone, when we bring them into business and get them to look at it, to choose a 2 to 3 year plan. If they want that, then we do the evaluation approach. So the evaluation is an overview of the unfranchised concept and residual income. Now, I'm going to get really granular about this, because every time I do it and explain it generally, it's the details that people get hung up on. So I'm really going to give you what you need to make this happen. So the evaluation overview, it can be an overview of the unfranchised system and concept with the tracking system and the 2 to 3 year plan and the residual income. That's all in the UBP PowerPoints, and you simply, use them. The objective is to get them interested in and consciously choosing residual income. So that's what you want to paint for them. You want to paint that picture. And, it's residual income over exchanging time or money with the 45-year plan. Now, it can easily be done in 2 steps and is often more effective that way. You don't have to go through the entire plan the first time. If they want residual income and they buy into the unfranchised 2 to 3 year plan for their own financial success, they're naturally going to want to see how it works and how the numbers work and how they get paid in the 5 steps. So 30 minutes to an hour is the maximum time. And if you can set up another appointment if they love that or they like that, to go over the 5 steps, and then you'll have time to show them how we do the evaluation and evaluation approach. So you can even say, listen, I'm out of time and I have other appointments, as a reason to set up another appointment if they do want to see it. But to tell you the truth, it doesn't need to be the entire plan or the MPCP in the 5 steps. Although it's good to do the MPCP in the 5 steps if there's time and if they're not edgy or getting fidgety. The main thing is it qualifies, and what you show them has their interest, and they want to know how they can actually have a residual income. So it can be done later in the follow-up. And the key and the purpose of the evaluation is to qualify them. Say that again. This is what qualifies them by choosing residual income in the 2 to 3 year on franchise plan over the 45-year plan. Why would you want to go on with all that detail and information if they don't even buy into that, if they don't want it? To me, that's the separating line that determines what side they fall on. So it's also provides enough information to determine if they know some of the right people who are right for it, or may in turn know the right people. Just remember, the people that they know don't need to be the ones. They just need to know other people that might be the right ones. So the successful evaluation qualifies them to do a trial run. Did you hear that? The successful evaluation qualifies them to take the next step, to do a trial run in a test market. Because now that you chose a 2 to 3 year plan, you see it and it makes sense, we need to find out if it can work for you. And the best way of doing that is to test market it. That's the next step. So it can also disqualify them or eliminate them if they don't have the right attitude. They're not cooperative, coachable, and enthusiastic. If they don't really get the 2 to 3 year plan or the residual income concept. And what does that mean? You don't waste your time. You stay friends. Maybe they'll be a customer. So an evaluation qualifies one to do a trial run. You might want to repeat that for yourself. An evaluation qualifies one to do a trial run. So this is a trial run definition. The process used to see if someone is right for the business and if the business is right for them, through which they'll lead to potential prospects and customers, or in the final process, may disqualify themselves. So why is that a good thing if they don't qualify? Don't be so anxious to want everybody to qualify. You know, in the U.S., everybody doesn't get into Harvard. You got to qualify. You have to have certain scores and, take tests and, have certain grades. So you don't have to waste your time with it. What we do is we stay friends. That doesn't make them a bad person, okay? If we stay friends and we move on, and often they'll become customers as an option, or sometimes, they become a customer just because they don't want to do it, but you have a product that really makes sense that they'll benefit from, so they buy it. So it really works. So the trial run process, then, let's think about this. You know the definition. So what we do is we move from person to person, giving each person the opportunity to evaluate it to see if they know the right people or have an interest themselves. So one person leads to another, and it starts to multiply. Now, if they choose a 2 to 3 year plan over the 45-year plan and know some people who would be good at it, or that might know the right people. Remember, what makes them good at it? They're well connected. People listen to them. They might know the right people. So then they qualify. Now let's give them a tryout or a trial run. Just like getting into a play, just like getting into school, just like getting a job. This will determine if it works for them. So in the end, there's no decision. There's no decision to make. And if they're the right person for you because they're cooperating, we know what to do. We have it down to science. It's already working. I hope that makes sense to you, because that is the logic, and that is what built the company, and that is what put the top earners where they are. So the trial run process definition again is drilled down. If they lead to 2 to 4 people who'll do it over the next 30 days, by exposing it or running it up the flagpole to see if anybody salutes it, because that's really what we're doing, then it already worked and there's no decision to make. So over 30 days, if we have people who want to buy the product and people that want to try the business, it's already working. It worked by default. You meet and you're led to or referred to the people through other people until we find the right one that is ready to try it. And in the process, they lead to customers and they discover the product as a solution to a problem that they might have. And we make it work first before they make a decision. I'll repeat that. We make it work first before they make a decision. And if they're coachable, cooperative, enthusiastic, it automatically works because we know what to do. We have it down to science. And they are qualified by doing this, and it's working. So it's a self-fulfilled prophecy. It basically solves itself. Does that make sense? I sure hope it does. So let's talk about some keys. I'm going to hammer this. It works best in small teams doing it together. You don't need to have big meetings, just small little teams. And as you add people, as people become interested and involved in the trial run or the evaluation process, we do it together. So one-on-ones and two-on-ones are a great way to do it. It's easier to go see people or to have them do it in their location or home because they're there. A lot of times people ask me, well, they didn't show up. What do you mean they didn't show up? You were going to their house. In Zoom, we're connecting electronically. What do you mean they didn't show up? So Zoom is now an even more effective way of doing this. It saves time and speeds things up. It's really been an interesting discovery, but you must see it 3 times, and we give you the reasons, which makes so much sense. First time, it's going to create more questions than it answers. Second time, you're going to see things that you didn't see the first time. And the third time, okay, fireworks should go off in your brain. Light bulbs will go on. Okay, if you're right for it, because you'll start to see how you can connect the dots and actually benefit from it. Then that means that we should have a trial run for you, and we'll do it with you to increase the probability of success. So by getting people interested through them or under them, they automatically become interested and committed. So in other words, if I work with Andrew and he does an evaluation, and then we do the evaluation approach with a couple people on 3 ways, and they want to see it, and they choose a 2 to 3 year plan, and they want to have a trial run, it's already working. It changes the whole atmosphere. So they automatically become interested and committed, and they actually ask to register. Believe it or not, you don't have to ask them. They're asking you. And you actually have to hold them back until they are leading to people. So, I can always say, hey, who's going to sponsor these people, you or me? And of course, they're going to want to sponsor them. So I hope this is making sense to you. So we work very fast, person to person on successive levels. And on Zoom, it can be 3 to 6 levels in a week. In person, it can be 2 to 3 levels in a week. People are just exploding with this. So we bring them to a UPP or a local seminar to meet other UFOs. It's very empowering. Now that's being done online right now on Zoom. We all can't wait till we can get back together and actually be with people. But 100% of the people we bring show up when we're bringing them physically. It's pretty easy right now to do this on Zoom. So someone wants at some point to order product. It always comes up. Or they demand to sign up. And it causes a chain reaction. In order to get credit, we have to have a sign-up night where everybody in between in the referral thread or the evaluation thread of acquaintances would miss out. So everybody, wants to get started, and we have a getting started session. Everyone registers and qualifies, and quite often, the amazing thing is we have an instant coordinator or instant executive coordinator. That's by everybody signing up and getting fast start kits or whatever they want to merchandise, they hit one of the brackets or the levels. So let's look at this. A trial run test market concept. We use the evaluation technique and no decision close to get the trial run test marketing going. We repeat the process for each new person evaluating it, and they must see it 3 times to lead to people. So I'm already setting that up before we start. In the no decision close and in the script that you can download here, you'll see part of it is said before we start the meeting, what they're going to see, and leave your apprehension and your concerns at the door and your wallet at the door because you can't get in tonight anyway. You have to see this 3 times in order to qualify to do it. And here's why, and I explain. So make it work under them by getting people doing trial runs first. that changes everything. Now they're wanting, to do it. And if they don't do it, or if something goes wrong, they've already led you to the people that you need. So it's a win-win situation. Now this automatically becomes the ABC pattern. So you don't do the ABC pattern. The ABC pattern happens from doing this. Some people used to think that, well, I signed this person up, then I signed this person up, and I put them under them so they're the B level. That's not what I'm talking about. This becomes the ABC pattern, and we work at least 6 levels deep as fast as we can while they learn how to show the plan. How do they learn how to show the plan? They're seeing it over and over again, and they're there, and we have them do part of it, and we call it the commentator routine, where we'll fill in the blanks, and we'll add things so that it comes out perfectly, kind of like on sports. When one guy calls the play, the other one does the color. So we add in, and they look really good. So test marketing the products is something naturally that comes up because it's in the plan. And, we talk about the products, and we do trial size marketing, and we get them to experience the product, and then they want it. I mean, you know how that works. So everyone wants to sign up and qualify by the 6th level, and then we have also others that are actually able to start showing the plan. So this really works well. So the no decision close is something you have to learn. You got to get the script. You got to learn it. When you hear me at the end of a meeting say, now don't worry about understanding all this. My goodness, there's an awful lot here. You understood the whole thing. God bless you. You're the smartest person in the world. There's a lot of figures, a lot of diagrams, but that's not the important thing. We'll get you to understand all that. The important thing is that you chose a 2 to 3 year plan or a 45-year plan, and you want residual income. So we have a way of doing that, and at the same time, you learn how it works. So, I mean, that's kind of like a signal to everybody. Okay, we're going into the follow-up mode, and they've all been trained to do it. Now, you have to have a partner. Don't try to do this without a partner. That's what the business is all about. Don't tell me that you can't find a partner. If you can't find a partner up the line of sponsorship, you need to contact somebody and get some help in doing it and learn how to find that. But be sure to provide the no decision close script and learn it so that everybody on the team is playing by the same plan. Teamwork makes the dream work. As we do this, we add people to the team. You want to follow the presenter at the meeting, observe how it works, and support the process. These are critical steps in the execution steps to the successful outcome. Now, this is a very important slide. So open your eyes, smack yourself if you have to, wake up, okay? 7 steps where one leads into the next naturally. Now, I know that Elizabeth and Andrew and everybody talked about 4 steps last night, and that really is, but these are the steps within the steps that cause them to happen. And the neat thing about them, it's just like walking up steps. I mean, it's very easy. There's no big jumps. One leads into another. So one automatically leads into the next step, and it's very easy when you do it as a team, and it's a lot of fun. So, first of all, if somebody qualifies by choosing a 2 to 3 year plan, first thing we can do is make a list of 20 to 100 people. Start out with 20, 10 or 20, and we start doing the evaluation approach. We go over it. We have different scripts. They choose the one that's best. We customize it for the person. Then we do it with the senior partner. We do 3-way calls. That immediately leads into the evaluation or overview, or the UBP or HBP or Zoom with a senior partner. Where we're showing them the evaluation overview, and then next the 5 steps in the in the plan. But there's no decision to make at the end because they chose the 2 to 3 year plan of residual income. The only question is, can they lead to the right people? So we might as well do a trial run. So it's a no decision close. All we do is a follow-up, which leads into the trial run. The trial run meetings of people leading to people become the ABC pattern. I hope this is making sense to you. This always works and leads to the right people that will cause a leg to qualify or go to record. And you know what? Otherwise, you would not have met them. I wouldn't have met Dennis Franks. I wouldn't have met Elizabeth Weber. I didn't know these people. Pam and Tony Bowling. Vicky Lee. I didn't know Vicky Lee walked into the convention because of Rick Hannon, way back in the beginning. So understand that this is where everybody came from. The proof is in the pudding. So the next slide is a skit, and it's very important. It's wake yourself up, take a deep breath, okay? The people in the room that you're going to see this skit of are not actually at a meeting in our house. They represent people that know each other, that are in a community. And each person knows someone else in a friendship thread. So watch carefully what happens and how that leads to the right people. So what I want to do is demonstrate to you or show you the difference between recruiting or signing people up or focusing on trying to get somebody in versus the evaluation technique and the no decision close and how it leads to the right person. And remember, the only reason you're not a director yet is you haven't found the right people. But there's a very natural way of finding them, just like your circle of friendship develops. An average person knows over 100 people. And we're going to focus on 20 of them that might know the right people, right? So Lauren is the senior partner, and Andrew is the new growing partner who is ready to do this. So I have convinced Andrew on the 2-3 year plan. He's become involved. He's all about residual income and very excited. And he is going to get somebody to evaluate it, not get them in, by reaching out to them. Okay? And then he'll reach out to somebody and he'll reach out to somebody. Okay?
I'm doing this.
So when somebody wants to do it and gets it, it benefits them all. They don't have to make a decision. They might as well try it. Now, they might be half rich because of this or half paid, but they already saw it work, and they only need one more. Sometimes they get one more in the process, and they hit the jackpot, okay? So this works very well. It's very natural. Do you see that? Now, the thing is, it broke off after 3. Why? It broke off because they're brand new and don't know what to say. And although Andrew and Lauren passed it on, and they passed it on to some friends, okay, it broke off after a while because someone gave them a hard time or they didn't know what to say. What happens when Andrew and Lauren go with them and help each person understand it and get them to evaluate it? Because we're not going to sign them up unless they evaluate it and lead to some people. So now, Mario is ready to do it, so they all benefit because they get 100% credit for a year without dilution on whatever action is created or whatever Mario does, and we're going to be working with them. So they all have a reason to do it. And I don't have to convince anybody. They're all qualified because they chose a 2 to 3 year plan of residual income, and they all are cooperative, enthusiastic, and coachable by leading the people. So now we have a successful organization already started without having to convince anybody. I hope that makes sense to you. That's what we do. Congratulations.
It's the wrong time for me, sorry.
Okay, so this happens.
Okay, we'll see you around then. Take care.
Timing's not right for everyone. That doesn't make him a bad guy. They're still friends. He might want to buy a product. Go benefit from one of the products. You try to find something that will be a solution for him. He can come back later. But people's timing is important. Everybody has a different situation. It's not right for everybody, and timing's not right. But it doesn't matter. You led to the right people. Now notice something. You would never have led to these people and the guy who might be the director, and really tear it up if we did it the other way. But because we did the evaluation technique and there was no decision to make, and people led to people to see if they can play the game, to see if they're right for it, and for them to see if it's right for them, okay, I got it to work.
You understand?
It worked for everybody.
You did a good job.
Good job.
Nice guy.
So you did a great job coaching. Thank you.
So now they'll get the basic 5. They'll go to the seminars, and they'll get involved in the rest of the business and have a blast. But it's already working. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Thank you.
So that is really important. I hope that was impactful, and I hope you were paying attention. But if you understand it, it demonstrates the wave or the chain reaction of how the referral or evaluation approach works, leading to the right people. Each person knows someone and reaches out to evaluate it, who in turn leads to someone else to evaluate it. Now, here's an important point. Please get this. Note that you would have never met the two people that got it and were ready to go out and do it if you had signed people up one at a time. This is how I found Dennis Franks. This is how I found Elizabeth Weber. This is how I found Vicki Lee. It was not me getting somebody in. It was people leading to people. The people who were really good at it and tear it up would not have ever been discovered or found. I hope that you get that. So when one qualifies and gets it, everyone can get credit for what they do or lead to. We only need two, so they're half there already, and the process becomes self-perpetuating, and the process replicates over and over. So anytime someone qualifies and joins the team or registers, they've already led to people. Boy, that's a big kick. And if they do not become involved, guess what? They've led you to the people that you need. So this automatically leads to or turns into a trial run. It becomes a trial run. You don't need to start a new chapter. It's just part of it. And working with a senior partner with credibility makes it 3 times as effective and twice as easy and definitely fun. You heard Elizabeth talk about that last night. And a senior partner doing it with you changes the atmosphere and eliminates the apprehension, the resistance, and friends giving you a harder time. It happens to us all. So it removes the awkwardness, and it's believable because they might not believe that you can do that or something, or that you're that smart, but they do believe that you might have the connections. So making an offer too good to refuse. That's why we call it make an offer too good to refuse, because you're showing them the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow with residual income. The trial run or the test with an evaluation approach is an offer too good to refuse, because you and your partners do it with them to see if anyone knows the right people or people who in turn know the right people. So there's no risk to them. They don't have to figure out how to do it. And they have everything to gain and nothing to lose. And that's why it works, the path of least resistance. So qualifying happens here. You hear a lot about qualifying. Well, you qualify them in the process. They must choose a unfranchised 2 to 3 year plan. And I'm very, strict about that. I make a delineation. I mean, they have to consciously decide and see and understand and comprehend that, hey, I want residual income. If they want residual income first in the evaluation overview, then there's a reason to do the evaluation. So then they must do the evaluation or trial run and lead to people who in turn lead to people or customers, and there's no decision because the trial run makes it work first. This is a foolproof system. If they do not do that, they do not qualify, so we move on. And you're not wasting time with them, dragging these people along, begging them to do it. That's over. And you know what? A lot of them become great customers because you're not pressuring them. So it also determines who qualifies or is good at it and can lead to people. It's like in sports having a tryout, or in theater having an audition. It demonstrates that they are cooperative, coachable, and enthusiastic. It's not so much their talent. I have it down to science. We have it down to science, and we know what to do. So if they're cooperative, coachable, and enthusiastic, that's all you need to make it happen. And the probability that it's going to work for them is very high. So in the process, they lead to people who you would have never met or discovered. Boy, I hope you get that point. And they become great UFOs or directors. And everyone in the line of fire or in the connection and acquaintance spread gets credit. And this is reason enough for them to try it and do it because it is already working. Hence the no decision close. Okay, so look, it really works. Everyone should be doing this. You saw yesterday what Elizabeth talked about. We drop in, we do pop-ins. Here's JR and Andrew Zoom drop in last week, actually, or a week or two ago with Elizabeth in her 90-day fast track. But what we do is every week, if you're doing this and you're part of the team, we're getting your experiences. You're telling what worked and what didn't work, and we fine tune. And we coach you. You can't learn how to ride a bicycle if you don't get on it. I can't teach you how to ride it unless you get on it. So I can't teach you how to be really good at this unless you're doing it. And that's the key. So there's Elizabeth, there's JR with her team, and they're just tearing it up. So I want you to know this. Please listen to this. Last night was one of the greatest seminars or presentations that I've seen since I've been in the business. And we're going to add Elizabeth Weber and her team with Andrew Weissman, their video presentation, the PowerPoints from yesterday, to this set of trainings because it hits the bullseye. I believe it's a historic session. It explains how to do it and execute using Zoom. But I provide detailed explanation and training. Every Wednesday we do these trainings. And we put a lot of time and thought into them to really deliver what you need to know. How to answer questions, how to answer objections, different scripts for evaluations, how to customize evaluation. And so everything that you need to know is there. And if it isn't, you need to send it in because we'll put it in the next session. And this is how you become really great at it. Now look, the timing couldn't be better. The evaluation approach is custom made for what's going on in the world right now. And everybody's concerned about their livelihood and their stability and their security. And we're offering residual income from a home-based business where they can do it, during this situation. And we're giving them an offer too good to refuse because it's all about residual income. We have the types of products that people need. We're an online business. They don't have to go to brick and mortar. We deliver it to their home. But the point is this. Everybody's going a little stir crazy. And they're not busy doing other things. You have a captive audience that will listen. And if you do it with a partner, they'll really listen. So this is the time to do it and get with it. And so I just want to emphasize that it's all experiential learning. This isn't going to happen because you heard this talk or this seminar. You need to start doing it so you experience it so we can help you get really good at it and comfortable and confident. And again, it's kind of like riding a bicycle. I can't tell you how to. You got to get on it and we help you with it. So each week we'll find things that need adjusting or didn't go quite right, and we fix it. And some people will have great experiences, and we'll share them with everybody else, and everybody benefits from it. The bottom line is it's a lot of fun. I think Andrew and Elizabeth really explained that. But look, I'm a realist. I make things seem so great that they're automatic. And the truth of the matter is it doesn't always go right or as planned. But the only learning is experiential learning. Okay? We'll give you the scripts. We'll give you the answers. You must do it with a senior partner. Okay? You send in your questions that you get that you don't know how to answer. And we're going to answer them. Okay? If you're doing it with a senior partner, half the time that'll be answered right there for you. We'll show you how to recover your fumbles when something goes wrong. We'll share great experiences that worked, and we'll share things that tripped you up or didn't work, and we'll get you the answers. And these sessions that are online that you can go to already cover a lot of it. I would use it. You can actually do a training with your group, a coring with your group by listening to it, using the PowerPoints, and then teaching them yourself. With the evaluation approach, you learn it by doing it with a partner. You learn it doing it with a senior partner, and then you teach it by together doing three-way calls. So we rehearse, we practice, we have fun, we do it together, we tag team. So the evaluation approach of no decision close automatically leads to trial runs. How do you get trial runs? It's the evaluation approach and no decision close. It's the opposite of recruiting and trying to get people in. You simply ask them to look at a new technology or a new concept using internet marketing to track what people buy and convert their spending into earnings. It could mean some money to you. I mean, most people will respond positively to that. Or ask the question, well, what is it? Well, that's what I got to show you. So the process used to see if someone is right for the business and if the business is right for them. Isn't that a beautiful thing? We're finding out without any tug of war if the business works for them and if they're right for the business and they're right for us. Through which they'll lead to potential prospects and people who evaluate it and in turn lead to the right people. And the right person that chooses residual income or the unfranchised 2 to 3 year plan and wants to do a trial run, they could be several removed from the original person. But then everyone in the referral chain has a reason to also do it, to join in and do it with them because they get credit. So the most important thing is that you were led to the right person who does a trial run and who commits to building it, and that turns it into ABC time. So that's how you end up earning checks at hidden levels. In the process, some people become customers, or in the final process, some disqualify themselves as UFOs. Now, the people that have been doing this have really learned that that's a cool thing. That's not a negative. Why is it a good thing when they don't qualify? Well, you didn't have to waste your time with them and pull them along and listen to their complaining and excuses. You stay friends and you move on. And often they become a customer as an option, or sometimes it's an easy out for them just not to do it, and they want to buy OPC free. Great. But this is what you're not doing. Now think about this. You're not asking them to get in. You're not asking for money or a loan. You're not asking them even to do it. But the reason that you're asking them is important. So make sure that you have that reason ready. Why would they be good at it, or why might they know the right people? See, the reason that they may know the right people is important. It needs to make sense to them, not to you, but to them. So be sure to get it right, put some time into it, some thought into it, because if it makes sense to them, they'll listen. And here's a zinger clincher for you. Hey, Andrew, in order to get this job or this position, I've hooked it right into the right people, the top people. But I need to get 4 people to evaluate it, which takes 30 minutes to an hour. Will you be one of them? Tie down, right? That works almost every time. So answering questions and tying down the evaluation approach is pretty simple. When someone thinks that the business is MLM or one of those things, you still need to provide a brief explanation and appealing description of what the business is about. And be prepared to have one ready, okay? Don't be stumbling around. But you have to have the answer, and a senior partner will really help with that. But remember, when you do this on the phone, you can have your notes and a script in front of you, and when you have a senior partner with you, you have someone else that's credible who they don't know to validate it and back you up, and it makes it really easy. But remember, you are only asking a favor. You're not asking them to loan you money or to get into something or do something that puts them out. You're simply requesting them to evaluate it. And having a senior partner do it with you. A 3-way call solves 75% of the challenges that you might otherwise experience. It changes the atmosphere. It takes you off the hook with the expectation for you to know everything and explain it. But they don't believe that you might be able to help them make a lot of money, but they might believe that you have the connections. So the senior partner fills the role of the expert from afar and someone that they have not met yet that you build up that helps you make, the convincing point. So you have a partner and you have been provided the opportunity to locate some people. And if you can find the right people and get it off the ground in the area, it's going to mean some money, and that's why you're talking to them. So it makes sense. Look, you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. If they're the wrong person, they're going to give you a hard time regardless. And you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. If they're opportunity minded and they're looking and they're awake, they're going to keep asking questions until they do get in. So when in doubt, blurt it out. I have an attitude. You know, I'm Zorro. You know, I'm the bullfighter that goes in the ring with mustard on the sword. I'm not. It's an attitude. It's posture. And when you have a senior partner doing that with you, it's a lot easier to do it. The training and the answers and the things that you need to know, you need to study. Okay, you need to practice. And that's why we provide this to you. I hope that you'll go to it, get little pourings in your group. We put a lot of time into it. A lot of people got a lot of growth out of it. But here's the first and foremost thing that's kind of like the first commandment. Okay? Understand that most everyone knows someone who will lead to the right people that want residual income. That someone will commit and do it and become a go now. You need to change the atmosphere if they know you so that you can get them to lead to that someone who knows someone who knows someone. I hope that makes sense to you. And that's really what we're trying to do. So notice as you close, you refer to the handout. It's like a quick sheet. It's like a teleprompter. It makes it easy. This is what gets it going. And the difference between success and failure is so simple. Those who succeed simply do what those who failed did not do. So what are you going to do? You either do it or you don't. This is really important. The trial run leads to people, and I want their people first. Do not worry about signing them up. They will ask to sign up. Rule number one is they've got to see it 3 times. First time, it'll create more questions and answers. Second time, they'll see things that they didn't see the first time. Third time, light bulbs go off. Sometimes fireworks go off, realizing that it can happen for them. And then we have to do a trial run. Trial run leads to people. I want their people first. Do not worry about signing them up. They'll ask to sign up. I used to tell people, look in the kit. There's something really important there. You used to get a physical kit. They looked at it. They said, what is it? I said, just notice that there's no people in there. You see, the trial run, if they choose the 2 to 3 year plan over the 45-year plan, I'll take the time to do a follow-up meeting and explain how to do a test market and how to try it out and do a tryout, determine if it's right for them and if they're right for the business. So it's a win-win situation. All they have to do is be cooperative, coachable, enthusiastic. I can't work with everybody. I can only work with 2 to 4. But because I know you and you committed to a 2 to 3 year plan, I'm going to give you the shot. Okay? So they don't know what to do, but I do know what to do. You do, and your senior partner knows what to do, and we have the system. So that's what you're bringing to the table. 9 points or steps in the trial run. Try some products, okay? I lend them, and if they love them, they buy them. Make a list of 10 to 20 after 1 to 2 meetings, and a couple of people starting trial runs. We'll go through the getting started guide and do the list of 100 to do over the next year. We want not to just depend on the first 20, but to keep doing that to get momentum and add layers of strength to it and have more than one BDC qualify. So over a 30 to 90 day period at your pace, I do it at their pace. We expose it to some people to see if they know the right people, but not to get them in. We're talking to them about looking at it because they might know the right people. So we allow people to evaluate it to see if they know the right people and make a list with them, suggesting who they know and mental ticklers, of, hey, what about this type of person? Who do you know that's an entrepreneur? Offer to assist them calling and to use a senior partner to help. That makes it easier. We expose it over the next month to 10 to 20 people and see if they know the right people. And if they do, so, we led to the right people and we formed teams then to start to work the trial runs and patterns. I have to put the time in to make it work. So I want to make sure that they understand it and will do what's necessary. And it puts you in position to lay out what is necessary and how it's going to be done. I can't work with everyone. We know what to do and have it down to the science. So we get the business succeeding and growing with the trial run and the first 20 when they're coachable. And they can count on that. So let's get started. So the trial run and test market, if they do it, and the people on their list are interested, we repeat the same thing over and over again. By the end of the month, we have people that want to buy the products, do the shopping annuity, and 2 to 4 people that want to do the trial run. So the business already worked, and there's no decision to make. So the key here is show them how to do the evaluation approach and how the trial run works. Make 3-way calls, have one HPP or Zoom meeting for them and their possibilities, and do it with. They are actually leading you to their people, which are your people. You need to get that. So there's a lot of best practices. And you can go through these. I'm going to speed up so that I can get everything in tonight. But that list of 100 in bios, it's really important to give the bios, and we start doing 2 a week. The top 10 to the 20 lists. We do 3-way calls actually with them, with your partners. So this almost guarantees your success. That list of 100 takes some work. So we start out with 10 to 20 because I don't want to get them sidetracked or get them mentally constipated over it. It takes some time and some work. But somebody that does it, that's a litmus paper test to me. They put some thought into it. They really want it. So you don't give somebody the list. You don't take the list from somebody and do it. We do it together. They're the ones that know those people. So the top 10 to 20 list, 3-way calls, drop-bys, drop-ins, Zoom meetings. We design and customize the evaluation approach for each possibility. Don't use one bland, one-size-fits-all. Customize it for people. Determine the reason that most makes sense to them that they might know the right people. Because if it makes sense to them why they might know the right people, they're going to want to take a look at it. Okay, so let me go forward here. You can go through these things. It's basically just listing the points that are important, the best practices, so that you can make sure that you hit the bullseye. And you can easily go through them. So these are the best practices. Now, the digital education and credibility 3-minute video is something that I always use before we do the trial run, before we start calling people, so that they are inoculated, so that they are immunized against the negative that's out there, the misinformation. I want them to do legitimate due diligence, and we show them how to do that. So I'm always going to bring the business down to their level. Okay, whatever level of confidence they are, don't ask them to do more than they're ready to do. I just want them to lead the people. That's the bottom line. So I'm at the point here where I'm going to click through some slides. Okay, you can go through them. These slides, point by point, are checkpoints. It's like a tune-up to make sure that you're doing everything that needs to be done and nothing slips. Now, you're going to get questions. Is it one of those things? Questions, objections, comments, and how to handle them and answer. I can't do everything here, but we do have that. We'll go over a list of the most frequently asked questions or comments and how to answer them. This is done in the 4th JR Zoom session, and the link has, on that link, that presentation has most frequently asked questions and answers scripted. Now, if you get questions that aren't in there, please send them in to us because we'll answer them. Like, it sounds like MLM. The quickest answer I can give you is, what do you mean by that? Let them tell you. Who do you know in MLM? Because we have to save them. Well, that says a lot, doesn't it? We have to save them. That could mean a lot of money to you. And then you hook with a senior partner that knows how to do that, and we're able to talk to them about it. So if you look at this, you can go through these slides. What I've done is given the greatest answer for this time period of comparing the network or the business to social media and how it tracks people versus how we track people in the organizational or family tree that it creates, okay? And how to use that and combine it with our tracking system and e-commerce to show them how everybody that leads the people that are normally used by influencers to make money or advertising makes you money. And that we reorganize it into a binary system to maximize the profitability. So it's all in there. You go to it, okay? But what I really want to emphasize, if you want to get this, if you want to learn what I just went through very quickly, the slides, it's in these presentations. So take the time to go to them, pull the slides, watch the videos, and you can even do it with your group and start to train them. You know, and every once in a while you get somebody who says, I looked it up on the internet. Well, remember, that's why we have the digital education and credibility video and PowerPoint to address that. But the point is this. What you set in motion, ladies and gentlemen, carries in motion. The evaluation approach and trial run results in people leading to people until it leads to the person who's qualified, that's ready and committed to make it work, and that's what leads to a director. And because everyone gets credit, everybody gets in. This is the magic, and I hope that you do it. So find someone to do the evaluation method or trial runs with on your existing team or organization. You can go out and find somebody new, and that's how you would do it. But if you have an organization, take a look at those people. Who is ready? Who is ready to work the magic? And sit down with them and start this process, because that jump starts you. That puts you ahead. And again, the difference between success and failure is so simple. The individual who succeeds did what the individual who failed did not do. Now, Elizabeth Weber's doing this. Okay? The Haskins are doing this. The Blacks are doing this. You know, Shelley Bow is doing this. All the people that are growing, that are hitting levels, have gone back to it. And many of them. So talk to the people that are doing it. You'll see that this really is the solution. I hope that you'll find a DIR, a diamond in the rough. A diamond in the rough or a future director. That's the DIR. And if you're a senior partner earning $60,000 a year or more in commissions and residual income, you need to find one or two DIRs or diamonds in the rough to max out your residual income in a BDC and secure it. Residual income requires security and longevity to really be residual. And that means 2 or more UFOs earn 6 figures in LA. So if you need help doing this, an executive sales team member or an advisory council member will help you. Contact us if you cannot get help, because this is where the magic is. And if you are a DIR, that means you're not earning the big money, but you're a committed UFO. You must find a senior partner earning residual income who has credibility to do it with. This is what will make the difference. This means that you have a top 20 list, and you'll make the list of 100. You'll do the evaluation approach, no decision closed, with a senior partner for 90 days to start, and be accountable to every week. I tell you, it changes the atmosphere. So this requires you, if you're the DIR, this is not a free lunch. Nobody's going to do it for you. But you're going to team up with a pro, and you're going to start this process. And that means that you're going to be at the conventions, you're going to be at the GMTSS meetings, you're going to be at the weekly Zoom calls, and you're going to do what's necessary. But the difference is you're going to have somebody working with you with the evaluation approach, no decision closed, and trial runs to get people leading the people. And what you saw in this seminar will be happening for you. And here's the reality. Team leaders have a weekly update. This is an actual picture of Elizabeth and her teams that are doing it. There's many Zoom meetings going on once every night in this group. There's 3-way calls, evaluations, and follow-ups. There's trial run ABC pattern meetings going all over the country. Okay, and it's a reality. So this isn't something that I am hypothesizing on. This is reality, and it can happen for you. And so they're simply doing that ABC patterning, the evaluation approach, evaluations, the overview, the three-way calls on Zoom that I talked about. And that leads to the trial runs. And so we're going from A to B with the follow-up, and then to C, using Zoom meetings, two or three on one evaluations, follow-ups, and how to do the evaluation, then the trial run and the ABC pattern and the weekly accountability and update of everybody sharing their success and reporting in what they're doing and us adjusting where we need to, and then making sure that everybody that they have brought to the table is covered. And so we come together as a group for a meeting and touring, and guess what? We're having fun and we're doing it together. Now, at the end of the day, what I just showed you makes the ABC pattern happen. So you start out with some teams, and as we go forward to the next level, it involves you, the people that you found that are doing the evaluation technique, that have started their trial runs, okay, and your senior partner. And they're all qualified and leading to people, and as a result of that, also start generating 200 to 300 BV. And they then add people to the funnel, to the bean jar, if you want to call it that. But they have their top 10 to 20 list, and we're all doing it with them. So we're able to cover multiple legs. So look what's happened as a result of doing the evaluation technique, three-way calls, evaluation approaches, and booking follow-up. We continue working on the C level. We went from the A level to the B level to C level. We didn't know that they would be the A, B, C level. They became it from doing the imprinting. The imprinting actually led to this and made it happen. So we started registering and getting customers and doing trial size marketing. Usually you have 1 to 3 UFOs or an executive coordinator that come out of this by the third level. They actually hit the levels, and that's what happens. So this is how you hit levels. This is how you earn checks. This is how you reach the top and fulfill the 2 to 3 year plan with a 6-figure income. It happens naturally by imprinting, by doing the process and hatching people right, bringing them correctly into the business by qualifying them and then doing the evaluation approach and doing teamwork and having a senior partner and having a lot of fun. It's a hell of a way to make a living, you know. And at the end of the day, people are going to look at you. Look at that person. They made it. You know what? It's just you. What you did was somebody else wanted to. You took the time and the effort to learn the evaluation approach, find a senior partner, and have some fun with it. I really do hope that this has helped, and I hope that you go out and do it. This is your year. This is your year. So we believe in you. I love you. I got to tell you something. You're in for a real treat now. It doesn't get any better than this. The only person better than me is my wife. I want to introduce my wife and my partner, the Senior Vice President, founder and creator of Motives. She is a marketing genius. I don't know where it comes from, but she understands people and what makes them tick. Because she knows people and what makes them tick, she's an expert at how to fix them so that they can get what they want out of life. She's the best at it in the world. People, all types of celebrities, icons, come to her for advice. She knows what makes you tick, and she'll help you get what you want if you're willing to listen. So here she is, Lauren Ryder.
Nice message. Thank you. Oh my God, it's so great to be here with you guys. And well, I wish I was there in person, of course. But Market Hong Kong, you know we love you, and soon we'll be together soon. I know it's challenging times, of course, but just understand that we're all doing the right thing right now. And the great news is that we're alive. And, you need to do something with your life right now while you have the time. And actually, the time is now for you guys. I mean, think about it. If you're one of those people who love to say, you know what, thank God it's Friday, there's no better time for you than right this moment. What kind of human being you are in this world today really matters in times like this more than ever, because we really need people to care about other people. For the first time ever, we're living in a world by doing absolutely nothing. You have the ability to say that you've done something for humanity. We actually get to stay home and do nothing in order to do a great service for the world. So just by doing nothing, you'll never get another opportunity like this to care for so many people out there who are suffering and being affected by COVID-19. So I think it's important you understand that you are doing great things simply by being at home. But at the same token, we can do something for you in return. So all of you who have had excuses in the past that you're too busy, you're too tired, you don't have the time, there's too much traffic, your boss, guess what? You don't have traffic. You don't have school right now. There is no boss right now. You used to say, where's my husband? Where's my wife? I never get to see my kids enough. Now you can't wait to get out of the house, right? So that's just human relationships, I suppose. Now you can't wait to get rid of them, but you're missing the office now. It's funny how we are as people sometimes. But you have more time than ever to become the person right now that you've been meaning to become. No more excuses. The only excuse that you would have would be you. You would be the excuse of not doing something with your life, which I know you want to do so bad. So now I need you to stay plugged in more than ever, become the person that you've always wanted to become. I think that's so important right now. If you put enough effort in these weeks, we can come out stronger than we've ever done. This is your time to do your thing. It's now. Sure, things will take time to recover. The economy is tough, right? Things are going to take time to recover. There's nothing wrong with that, but we're alive. We're in a better position than others. We need to stop waiting for somebody else to do the work and start doing the work yourself. Put the time in. Everyone's always waiting to meet that wonderful person that you aspire to become. Yet you can become the person that you're aspiring to be. So today I want you to become that person that you were meant to be. There's no better time than now. People need an opportunity. The world is suffering. The economy is tanking. Double digits in the millions have filed for unemployment. So why not now for you? Why not share what you have to share with so many other people, whether it's the business or our products? Just because you have to stay at home doesn't mean you have to stay where you're at. I don't know who needs to hear this, but I'm grateful for a home-based business income. I don't believe it's being rude or taking advantage of what's happening in the world. I'm truly happy that I have the opportunity to make money and help others to do the same in an uncertain time. What about sharing that information with other people? Guess what, folks? If you're looking for me, I'm at home building my business. The thing is, people have to wash their face still. They have to take immune boosting vitamins. We have it all. Everything that they could possibly want, you have access to. So here's the thing, it's your business. And now's the time to do something for yourself that makes a difference for you. Motivation is life. Staying plugged in, that's so important. If you're not plugged in, you can't be where you need to be. Some of us act paralyzed. You've had a little bit of success. You're not hungry anymore. What in the world have you been eating that's got you so satisfied? Think about that for a moment. You have to say to yourself, I can, I will, I must. Think about 3 people you love. Think about them. Think about what you're doing and what you should be doing. When you think about those people, and if you stop doing it, well, then think about those people again who you love. Because those people have to be louder than the thing is that you're not doing. You see, you don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. It's simple. You don't quit. You don't give up. I'll tell you, it's funny. It's so much harder to do these Zooms than it is to stand in front of you in person. I'd much rather be with you in person because it's so much easier to have you in front of us because we can touch you and feel you. And human touch is so essential for life. It is for us especially because, we miss you guys. We love being with you guys. So it's really important that we take the time right now while we have it to focus on ourselves, to get us to the place that we want to be. there's no better day than today to start. But here's the thing: many of you will plan to start. You'll plan to start to work on things to grow your own franchise business. Here's what happens. You wake up in the morning, you go, the first thing I'm going to do is start those phone calls. I made my list of possibilities, so I'm going to start calling those possibilities on my list. But you know what? I got to get a cup of coffee first. And you start up the day like that, and 15 minutes later, you decide you're hungry. And then when you decide you're hungry, you're going to go ahead and eat breakfast now, right? And then 20 minutes later, you forgot to call your friend who you were supposed to call last night and find out what happened with her and her boyfriend. And you think to yourself, oh my God, I've got to make this phone call. As soon as I'm done with the call, I'm going to get on my phone calls for my possibility list. But they had a big fight, and I got to call her and check in to see how she's doing. Well, by the time you get off the phone, folks, it's lunchtime. And you know what? I better eat first so I don't get interrupted again. So you get back from lunch. Okay, I'm ready. I can use one more cup of coffee. And then you see on your phone that your friend sent you, a game of words or Candy Crush or whatever it is that you're playing. And you decided, well, one game won't hurt, right? And so what happens is you play that game, the phone rings, and they want to talk about what happened with your girlfriend and her boyfriend also, because they're all friends and they want to know what's happening. Well, great. Guess what? You ended up wasting the whole day. And you say to yourself, I can't believe I lost the whole day. Okay, I'll do it again tomorrow. And what happens is we end up doing it over and over again to ourselves rather than putting ourselves first. So what I want you to do first today, and if you've already done this, well, that's okay. You can revisit it, is I want you to draw a circle with me on paper right now. So if you're in a place at your house, because we're all from at home right now, but if you're at a place where you can grab a piece of paper and a pen, I want you to draw a circle on the paper, just a simple circle on the paper, and we're going to fill it out together, and I want to walk you through it, because I don't believe you can really do this business effectively unless you've done these next few steps that Jared and I call the chart, the pie of success, the pie of wants and whys, and you have to keep that in front of you all the time. So you have to visualize and vocalize what you want, and everybody wants different things. What is it that you want? Think about that for a minute. What is it that you want? Because it really takes courage to vocalize your dreams out loud. Can you do that? Think about that for a minute. Can you do that? Can you do it out loud? Because if you can do that and pay the dues, you can actually live it. Can you tell your story? Will you do that? Now, when we're in an audience, I'll often ask you guys to raise your hand and say, yeah, I'll do it. But I know that most of you would always raise your hand if you were in the room with me. But I'm going to ask you to say out loud to yourself, you know what? I can do that. So go ahead and take a moment to say, I can do that. Now, when you think that no one hears you, let me tell you something. The universe actually hears you and is waiting to see what you'll do about it. You see, someday, someone will hear me. And if they don't join me, then guess what? They're going to hear my story. Because when you're growing and doing, no one takes time out to document it along the way because we're too busy getting there and arriving. So that's really important. I want you to vocalize out loud what your wants are and why. And then you're going to have a little a pie chart, right? So I want you to divide that pie chart up. And although I don't think they have it on the screen, thank you. There you go. That pie chart can consist of anything that you would want. Maybe it's more joy in your life, more spirituality, more creativity, more money, a better career, more education. You want to go back to school. You didn't get to finish school. You didn't get to go to school. You want better health. We all want better health. You want to be more physically active. You want to be more involved with your home environment, with your children, have better relationships at home with your kids, with your friends, more of a social life. You want to learn how to cook. Whatever your wants are, I want you to put them down. And so imagine it like this. You don't need to have 10 or 20 things. Let's start with a handful of the most important things, okay? So 4 or 5 things that are really important to you. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to categorize it. So we're going to put your wants down in that little pie chart that you just saw. We're going to go through it together. Why do you want those things? What for? What do you have to do to get there to get them? And when do you want them by? And this will be your life's goals to follow, and you can revise them all the time. Now, imagine this. This is one that Jared and I did together. So these are our wants, okay? This is our company wants, to grow the company, to teach the shopping annuity, to reach new people in the field, to hit new record in sales and pin levels in the field, to be in the best healthy shape and medically clear for ourselves, and have more control over our time and eliminate distractions around us. Yours will, of course, look different. Okay, one of ours is to be more fit. So if you want to lose weight, you put the want would become want to lose weight, and we can turn it to the next slide, guys. We would the want would be to want to lose weight. Okay, why? Well, obviously to be healthier, to feel better, to fit better into your clothes, or maybe you just want to feel sexy, right? And then what do you need to do to get that want? Well, you need to limit your intake of carbs, portion control. You got to exercise daily, meaning maybe you're going to go for a walk 30 minutes a day because you're not doing anything at any activity right now. You may need to incorporate weights. You may need to take your TLS weight loss supplements, right? And then you're going to put down your when, your goal. So for here, I put down our goal date because Jared and I want to lose 20 pounds by November 1st, 2020, right? So you guys could do it together with us, right? So here's the cool thing about this. I talked to you about not being afraid to vocalize your goals. You see, I'm not afraid to say we want to lose 20 pounds. That's part of the goals, right? But when you vocalize them, they can happen. And the universe will hear you and it'll make it easier for it to happen because it'll remind you of the things that you want. And this chart is something that we keep around our office because we want to remind ourselves all the time what we're doing. So you want to set your goals. How many of you want to lose weight? We can do it together. You see, I'm being courageously vulnerable and I want to do it with you. We want to do it together. Okay, suppose your goal is you want to make more money. I can understand. You want to make more money. Why? Maybe you want to have a better life for your kids than you had. Maybe you want to purchase a new home. You want to have more time freedom, more financial freedom. Well, what do you need to do in order to get more money? Well, Jared just talked about it yesterday and today. You got to do 2 evaluation approaches per week. You've got to become a product of the product. You've got to show the plan or learn how to show the plan if you don't know how to show the plan. And now, by the way, it's a perfect time for you to be learning how to show the plan by getting on these Zoom conferences with your upline. And you've got to measure, monitor, adjust, and control exactly what you're doing in the business. And you've got to set a deadline, right? So suppose by January 1st, 2021, you want to hit master coordinator. You put it down on paper and you know what you have to do. You have to do 2 evaluation approaches per week. He just went through with you for 2 days what you got to do to get there. So in order for you to go from nothing to something when it comes to money, there are things that it will take for you to go from struggle to success. And everything we're sharing is because we've done it ourselves. You see, when you set a goal and you want to articulate it and it didn't happen, here's the thing. So many people find so many ways to blame it on other people or deny that they attempted or didn't attempt. Rather than finding ways to justify why it didn't work out, how about just saying life got in the way? It's okay. Life actually gets in the way sometimes. So what happens when we don't hit our goal? What do? We try again. It's no big deal. We do it again. And there's no stopping this. If you want to get to your want, there's just no stopping it. And the reason I like the pie chart is it's so much easier. You know, people say, oh, write down your goals and read your goals. And we used to say that, but then Jared and I decided that people writing down their goals just wasn't enough. They need to have real simple goals with real simple definitions of what they needed to do in order to get there. And this is what the pie chart does for you. So everyone can draw a circle and everybody can put down 4 or 5 of their biggest wants and then keep track of this. So if you don't step forward, you're always going to be in the same place. One day you're going to wake up, there's not going to be any more time to do anything that you want to do, especially things you've always wanted to do. So why not do it now? Think about that for a moment. That's so important. You see, we all have these superhero capes on, and we pretend that we're so strong and so powerful, and we can do so much. And you know what? We wear these super capes because we believe we can't be strong without them. We pretend to be somebody that we're not. And here's the thing. It turns into a life of lies. And people ask you your whole life, oh, how are you doing? How are things going for you? And you say, oh, I'm doing great. Thanks. Fine. Thank you. How are you? Instead of saying, I'm not doing so great. You see, you're born to make our unknown known. We have to tell the truth. Actually, I'm not fine. I don't feel safe telling the truth in our real world. Our real world. So what happens is we've created our own world. And we live in predictable, dark, comfortable places. And you think that they're comfortable, but they're not. They're what's called the comfort zone, right? The comfort zone that you're afraid to leave. That totally predictable dark world that you're afraid to leave. Because anything outside of that comfort zone makes you so uncomfortable that you'd rather not deal with it. We don't want to deal with the fact that we don't want to be uncomfortable as human beings. So instead of saying we're fine, why not reach out to somebody and say, you know what, I need help. I'm afraid to show the plan. I don't know how to talk to somebody. I don't know how to pick up the phone. And all those things that Jared talked about, you're going to do it with somebody. You see, it isn't about trying to act tougher. We can get stronger and get better by just being human. You see, when you try to come out of it, out of that dark place, it almost feels numb. It feels like frostbite. It feels like you've been hit by daggers, right? You're numb and tingly all over. And what happens is they immediately want to rush back to that place of darkness because it feels so much better than having to deal with anything else. But here's the thing, the great thing about our business is you can actually ask for help. There's no better place than to be around people that will help you. So that's why I love our business so much. You know what? If you've ever seen Superman, you know that Superman's name is Clark Kent. So my point is it's much braver and harder to be Clark Kent than it is Superman. So why not be yourself? Why not be afraid to ask questions? Why not be afraid? Don't be afraid to ask for help. That's the most important. It's not about being tough. It's about being better. You know, bad things happen sometimes in our life, put us directly on the path to bring us to the best things that will ever happen to us. You know, the relationship that you have with yourself is the most important relationship you'll ever have. We're often spending so much of our time trying to fix relationships at home, figure out how we can fix our friendships and our relationships with our husband and our children. If we just looked in the mirror and decided that the relationship I really need to work on is the one I have with me. Why? Because that's the most complicated relationship. You can't walk away from you. You have to work on your relationship. If you can't do it any other way. So you have to step up your game. You have to do something every day that's going to help you produce results. And this is what we're doing together right now. You see, it won't always be easy. It'll be the closest people to you who will try to manipulate your mindset. But here's the thing. Once you start, success loves speed. It just loves speed. Trust me. Ever met anyone who's successful? Ask them how they did it. They'll tell you a short story. But when people are trying to get to succeed, they never stop the video, their steps on the journey, because they're so building so fast to get there that no one ever thinks to do that on the way. So that's really important. Listen, expose the business to a lot of people. No matter what people do, it's what you do that matters. And when you don't do that, it's simply because you won't make a commitment to yourself because you know yourself. You see, you've never kept the commitment that you've made to yourself. And the one who suffers is you. You see, everything in life is about priorities. What you prioritize will dictate what your life looks like. The relationship you need to work on in life is the one you have with you. You only fail when you stop trying. Some people succeed because they're destined to, but most people succeed because they're determined to. So here's the deal. You got to sleep less if necessary. Wake up earlier. Stay up later like we do. One day your 5 a.m.s will make you a legend. Your 9 to 5 will only pay the bills, but your 6 p.m. to midnight will build your empire. You got to do whatever it takes. You have to learn it. You have to evolve with it, and then you can absorb it all, and then you can do it. So most people travel through life putting their handbrakes on. Don't be one of them. Set an example for your team. Work hard, put the sacrifice in, put the work in. And work means showing the plan, learning how to show the plan. And some of you say, I can't do that. Yes, you can. You absolutely can learn how to do it, and now's the time to do it. You see, all you need to do is show the plan and share the product, and money will follow. It will change your life. You're one choice away from becoming the full potential you were meant to be. You know, once you start seeing results of the process, it's always funny. It's actually addictive, right? Daryl will tell you, and Andrew will tell you, we always have so much fun when we're building a business. When somebody's really hitting new levels and we see people doing it, we get excited. Why? Because we know that seeing results makes it more addictive for people, right? People love it even more. It motivates you to work even harder. Think about it. If you've done something good today that you never thought you could do good in the business, and you start to get a little bit of success with it, you're like, whoa, I'm pretty good at this. I can do some more. Let me try it again tomorrow. And before you know it, you become the Elizabeth Weber. You become Candy, who's out there in Hong Kong. You become the leaders that are just sitting amongst, who you're talking to on a daily basis, that you look up to. When you lose all of your excuses, folks, that's when you can find your results. It's that simple. You can do this. But you have to see failure as the beginning, in the middle, and never entertain it as an end. You see, you don't want what your friends want, So why would you care what they think what you're doing? Do it anyway. Again, not everyone's going to join you. Who cares? If they say it's impossible for them, but not for you, right? Not for you. You know, it's possible that you can live your dream. It's necessary that you have a plan of action, that you're resilient, that you stick to it, that you work with the system, you have the vision and never give up, that you become creative and relentless and keep on going and keep on going again and again and again. And that's it. And you got to take personal responsibility to make sure that happens. And that's not easy to do. You see, it's never easy to do because it's much easier not to do it. It's much easier not to do it. But if this is what you want, and this is why you want it, then this is what you have to do in order to get it. And that's why the pie chart is so important, because it's the only way for you to stay on track. And then Jared broke it down with you. The simple trial method. Think about that. That trial method approach is so easy. Guess why? You get to be yourself. You can't be Jared. You can't be Andrew. You can't be Kevin Buckman. You can't be any of the great leaders. You can be like them, but it'll be you. It'll be your words. It'll be the things you do that will matter to other people you know. You see, the only difference between you and the millionaires is simply time and effort. That's it. Think about it. Like I said, it's easy to do, but it's easier not to do. It's like when you go to the gym. You put your tennis shoes on. It's easy to put the tennis shoes on. It's an easy task. But it's much harder to get in the car and drive to the gym, and even harder to get out of the car and walk in the gym and put in the work. You see, we don't live in a perfect world. Some people will do what they always do, which is nothing. The question is, what will you do? What will you do? Will you go all in? Will you make the decision? A 90-day blitz, zero distractions, doing the trial method run? It's not easy, but it's worth it. And massive action produces results. The question is, how bad do you really want it? And you see, we get all flustered when we start talking about the business. Now is the time for you to learn it. It's not that hard. You see, when people think about it, when you first saw the business, right? When you first saw the business, you have 3 questions that hit you in the head. It's like, is this thing for real? What's in it for me? And can I do this? Those are the 3 things you ask yourself when you first see the business, right? Would you agree, Andrew? Is this for real? What's in it for me? And can I do it? Well, let me ask you a question. Instead of complicating it, what do you think about for a second? Who are you? What is it that you saw in this business that you fell in love with? When you first were introduced to Market Hong Kong, what did you fall in love with? Think about that. When you saw it for the first time, you have to understand that it did something for you, right? So let's start out with a sentence that makes sense. Like, for instance, if you're an accountant or a teacher, share that with people. Because why? You want to be able to relate to them. So you know what? I'm a former accountant. You know, I've worked my whole life working for somebody else's success rather than my own. And I finally saw a way out of my vision to become a millionaire. A way for me to finally spend time with my family and stop trading time for money. Something that simple. It doesn't need to be what Elizabeth says, what JR says, what Andrew says. It needs to be you. So if you're a school teacher, a very important job, a stay-at-home mom, in all the things I've ever tried, I never really saw a way out for me. I knew that I was never going to be able to rely on Social Security. But I finally see a way to make the money I need in order to stop trading time for money. A very simple sentence. Be authentic. Be yourself. Here's the thing. I like to say this thing called SBS. Stop being so smart. Stop being smart. You don't need to worry about being smart. You need to sell emotion, not facts, not specifics, and not smart. In this business, you don't have to show the world how smart you are. You just need to show them how much you care. It's all about a defining moment, making a decision about when everything is right for you and when you're willing to do everything you need to do in order to change. You see, don't worry about worry so much about how to make it work. Focus more on believing in yourself, and then you learn it. Think about it. That's all we're asking you to do. And so many people say sometimes, oh, well, how do I believe? I haven't been with the company that long. So I don't really know if I believe. Let me just stop you right now, okay? The belief has nothing to do with the company, everything to do with you. You don't believe in anything you've ever tried before because you don't have belief in yourself. The real commitment issues are with you. So a couple of years of struggling entrepreneurship to get you where you are today, to get where we are today, to get you where the millionaires are today, it's worth it. Think about that. You know, when you believe enough in what you do and enough in what you want, and everything is in alignment, meaning your wants, your whys, and your what. All you have to do is commit to consistency. And when you're passionate, it will happen. There's no reason to fight with life. You really just need to become a part of it. Here's the thing, you really never know what you need in life until you figure out who you are. And you can't be what you don't see. You see, we're never exposed to the right people. The effect you have on others is our most valuable currency. So make sure you're around the right people. You gotta break old boundaries, have a new mindset, a new sense of direction that will take you to new heights, a new you, a living miracle. Think about that. You see, most people have excuses and a reason why where they're not want to where they are not where they want to be in life. They're smoke screens. They get in the way of your dreams. But when you have clarity, there are no screens, no excuses, and nothing gets in your way. Now, for instance, when Jared and I don't hit a goal on something, we're like, darn, this is why we didn't hit the goal. We know exactly the reason why. And we can nail it down. And here's the thing. We may get mad at ourselves. We may be mad at others when we don't hit it because maybe we think they help contribute to it. But we don't stop. Okay, you keep going. Life doesn't mean much unless you become the person you want to become in your life. When you say to yourself, I'm clear, I know what I have to do, nothing and no one can stop me. I know what I want. I know that what I want and what I will do, not everyone will want to join me, but that's okay. It won't stop me. I'm going to do the work. I will dream this success into my life. When things haven't happened yet, I won't stop. There will be some crazy people who see my vision, go to work with me, but not everyone will join me, and that's okay. I don't need them all. Just get your list to your sponsor or your upline and tell them that you're committed to working the business and you want their help working the list. Think about that. That's what Jared talked about, right? Teaming up with people. Not having to do the work all by yourself, but getting people to join with you and do it with you. It's one thing to be in the business. It's a whole nother thing when the business gets into you. I hope you get to know how this weekend from all the incredible speakers I know that are coming up to speak. I want to leave you with a couple of important notes because I shortened this presentation because we still have Steve Ashler, president of Shop.com, coming on, and I wanted Jared to really be able to clarify the steps of the trial run method because I think it's so important for you to understand. The reason why I love it so much, it's so easy to get. You don't have to do it by yourself. It's real life. You can be really you, and you don't have to worry about messing up because you're doing it with a senior partner, right? They're taking you along. And so I want you to do all the things you've been meaning to do in the business that you kind of put on hold because maybe you're afraid to admit that you don't know how to build the business, you don't know how to show the products or show the plan. Ask for help. We'll help you. If you don't feel comfortable having someone to call us. We'll put you in touch with somebody. I think that's so important because I think people they get too scared. Let me take some water. I got excited. That happens, right? But I think it's really important. One thing I wanted to go back and just tell you is that life is short, folks. I mean, I think we've all experienced and seen a lot of the tragedy over the last several months. And, I was reading an article, and Kevin Meyer had shared this with you before also. I was reading an article the other day, and it said, the average expectancy of a great quality of life would be the age of 78. And I want to just demonstrate to you how short life is. Okay, so take your current age, right? So I'm going to take my current age. I don't have to say it, but you can figure it out once I give you the answer in a minute. Take your current age and subtract it from 78. Take your current age, subtract it from 78, and then multiply that number that you get by 12. That's the months you have to live a quality life. So in my case, I have 324 months left to live a quality of life. So now that it's time to live, how about start making those months and days count? The way I want you to do it is, if you have like a sticky note pad, I meant to bring one in here, but I forgot, but those little sticky note pads, right? Hannah's going to give me one right now, but there's little sticky note pads, right? So I have 324 months left. So I want you to create a piece of art on your wall in your house. Each one of these will represent 1 month, okay? I have 324. I'm going to put 324, or whatever your number is. If your number is 120, well, you only get 120 pieces of paper. Each one is 1 month. I have 324. That becomes your artwork on the wall because every month that goes by of your life, you have to take one of those down. And every month that passes by, well, you gotta take another one down. And every another month that goes by, and let me tell you something, at the end of the day, 324 months is not a lot of time at the end of the day for a real quality life. But you know what? The reason why I want you to put them up on the wall is when you actually see your life in front of you, maybe you'll do something with it. When you actually look at these piece of papers on the wall, maybe you'll do something with it and say, you know what? I'm going to make this month matter. I'm going to make this week matter. This week matter. I'm going to make this day matter. That's what I want you to do. Make life count. I know that we're in tough times. I know it's been challenging for so many of you. In Hong Kong, you guys have had to stay home longer than us, but thank God that you've had much more success with less people suffering and less tragedies of death during COVID. But, you know, think about it, like I said in the beginning, the fact that we can actually stay at home and do something for humanity is amazing. We'll never have another time like that in our life. Think about Anne Frank, who was in an attic, 450 square feet attic for 761 days with 7 other people and couldn't make a noise to save herself from the Nazis. Think about that. Times are tough, but we're tougher. You see, the things we cherish most are the things that generally pass us by every day. The thing that we call life, you know, it has a saying, you never really know what you have until it's gone. And maybe sometimes we need a harsh reminder, like now, to make us see what we maybe failed to see before. You see, our darkest moments test our strength. They also push our boundaries, even transform our reality. They can also be the bridge that leads us to exactly where we need to be. You know, it reminds us that it's not about time, but as Jared said before, how we spend our time, who we spend our time with. Quiet can bring so much clarity that will help you get the time that you need to figure out who you really are and who you want to become. You see, the world spins so fast. Humanity is much bigger than the sum of its parts, and it takes just as much energy to build it up as it does tear it down. You see, it reminds us that no matter where we live, you, me here, you there, no matter where we live, what country we live in, what we speak or who we pray to, that we're not so different after all. You see, it reminds us that there's so much more good in this world than there is evil, so much more love than there is hate, so much promise for tomorrow, and that someday we'll look back at this moment and the lessons we've learned and remember that when we were at our worst, we actually acted our best. The hardships we faced, we will be reminded of the miracle of the human spirit, the unwavering in its resolve, unbreakable, and its foundation stronger, much stronger than we could ever comprehend. You see, it's so hard to be optimistic in these times, but now, more than ever, we must be optimistic. The disruption as we've seen, in so many cases of tragedy, there's something to be gained, a tiny candle flickering in the night that will eventually grow to light our way, because the road to tomorrow is with people filled with hope, filled with people. There are so many pages unwritten, so many stories to be told, and a new chapter to begin. And all I want you to do today is to start writing your chapter. Let's do it together. I believe in you. Can't wait to touch you again. Can't wait to see you again. Stay healthy, stay strong, and just go out there and do this. We believe in you guys so much. I love you. You know how much I love you. And I'm looking forward for you guys to hear Steve Ashley. He's going to be amazing.